Hey, 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 this is Kurt the Boat Doctor down here in the beautiful Bay, California boat ramp. Looky, looky, looky. Ha, ha, ha. Sun's just coming up, a little chilly. Almost November, no rain, sun's out. Gonna get a little wind, that's the weather forecast. Now, the five top things on your purchase here is really important. Number one, the Boat Doctor water testing. No, that was a joke. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it was a joke. Haha. Anyway, the five top things. Number one, you cannot, the 24-footer in anybody's boat is in the perfect length, basically for offshore power match to the boat for performance and handling. The 24 just where it's at, because if you get a 23, you might as well go to the 24. And the 22 I like too. The 22-foot boat's a great boat. Then again, that hits between the 23 and 4. So each boat's got its purpose, but the 24 is kind of the ideal 24, 25 for horsepower and handling and performance. I feel that's my opinion. Okay, number two, North River. You cannot beat it. That could almost take number one. North River's got probably the number one resale in the U.S. I've been back east, Boston, Salem, Mass, and they said, have you ever heard of those North River boats? And I said, yeah, they're in our backyard. They're well put together, their wiring's awesome, and they got a hell of a resale value, well constructed. These are like an 18 by 42 degree variable hull. You can see how sharp that is. It cuts through the water. Now this would be a good 55-mile-hour out boat, tune efficient if you like. This has got the partial hardtop with side curtain backdrop. Slope, you could tow this because of that top, you know, that partial aluminum top. You got dual wipers, window stop right there. You got your anchor guard right here that protects when you're pulling up the anchor. It doesn't bang on your paint. When your anchor comes up, you've got the custom North River by Tough trailers, I-beam trailer. That's the way to go. You don't have to worry about like rotting through years or rusting from the inside out. Of course, you still do with the galvanized reach because the weight of the boat. You can't do like a member like that with aluminum. Too much, you could bend. You got a top mount coupler, so you're looking at 23 inches to the top, 2-inch ball. They did really good. They powder coated this smart 2-inch ball, flat flip. I like those. 7 round on the trailer plug, cross your chains. You got your foot jack. I like that. Propylene roller. I like that. 3 large ports, shallow deck. You like that because if you do take water 10 to 1 when the water hits, if that was all green water, by the time you looked at there'd be no water in there because it'd be splashing out, and then that would extra fast drain her on out, and it's a shallower deck. Two-tone paint, and again, if you notice, these are welded, plus there's no paint going down here. I talked to those guys a few years back about doing that. I think it was the Edge especially. Do not do that, because if you put that paint without welding it, then when you paint it, it goes in between and it doesn't get all the way covered, so then water gets in there, then it starts bubbling up. You'll notice the newer boats like North River Edge and so on, you won't get that bubble and blister. Same thing here. If you see there's welds there, they do that for that reason as well. Polished rail. You got, like I say, chine guides. You got your Teflon. There's your chine. There's your guide. Heavy duty. Don't have to worry about wood. Then wood scratching the side of your boat. Tandem axle. Nice trailer. You got the black inserts, aluminum polish on the outside. Those have got them hubs. I'm not quite sure. Oh, look at that disc brakes. Red calipers, almost like Brimbos. Those, like, I don't know if they're 5 year, 10 years on those buddy bearings. You'll have to ask. And now what they did here is they put your tie down here and here, so it's straight down, so it ain't coming off the side, ripping on the side of your boat. Your gas vents here, that means if you see that, that means your fills up front. I put 50 gallons of Supreme in here. I kind of treat them nice. All boats, I either put Supreme or non-ethanol. It's just that way you don't have to run that. I'd say at the beginning of the season, you can run your regular pump gas, but towards the end of the season, I'd start using the non-ethanol, either fill it or leave it down to a quarter if you're going to put it away, and run your kicker. Now this is EFI, so you don't want to run it all up, the fuel out of that. You got your gear oil drain here. Here's your checker. That's your drain, fill. And you can actually go both ways. If you pump, you can pump until it comes out too. Put a zip tie down in there. They can be that low, that's okay. if they're that low. But if it's that low, you need to add some gear oil. Typically they're all done from the factory. There's your trim switch. This is a high thrust 25. So this one might, especially water like today, this 25 may do it for tuna, like at 7. A top speed I think would be about 10, but this is where this 24 comes in. You got that length, so that helps keep this down without porpoising, but still gets bow rise. It takes less to push this boat. You got a 300 V6. Now this is a 15 by 15.5 by 15 saltwater 2 Yamaha. There's a 15 right there by, what was it, 15, yeah, by 15 3/4. And see, notice it doesn't have the torque fan because you really don't need it, but you know, they come close on their 200s, but they will work no matter what they say. You just got to go with this type or zinc torque fin. See how this one's got the fin, this doesn't. You really don't need that. You can just run these anyway. But anyway, this is fuel injected. Beautiful. Okay, freshwater flush. Of course, hook your hose up to that. Do not start the water. I mean, not start the water. That's funny. Don't start the motor. Just hook your hose up to that. Turn the water on. You don't have to have a full force, just so you get a good stream coming out of that P tube. Okay, but don't start the motor if you use that one. Okay, now your earmuffs, I would say even if you did use that, every, like say a minimum of once a month. Now freshwater is different, but saltwater, I would say maybe every 2 times, put the earmuffs on, let it run for 8 minutes. So you would turn the water on, start the motor, of course, and turn the motor off, then turn the water off. All you need is 8 minutes. And I go through a break-in process, and just so you know, I had a guy the other day, these things have been run probably for 2 hours in the factory before they box up, and then they run probably another half. If you notice on the tacks, you've always got a half an hour on them, and then by the time I get done, you got another hour. I would say just don't troll either one of these for the first 2 hours. Vary the throttle. And then don't leave them running down at the dock while you park your truck. Shut them off, okay? These basically you turn them on, go, but just don't, you know, hot rod it right out of the box. Give it like maybe 5 to 10 minutes tops, you know, just maybe half, 3/4, quarter throttle until 10 minutes. Let the motor warm up. Takes about 3 minutes, but I'd give it about at least 8 before I really romped on it. And these big motors, when they're broken, they love to be run, so don't worry about babying. Okay, same thing with that kicker. When you get done at the end of the day, if you're just running low RPMs all day long, you open them up wide open for at least 3 minutes on both of these. Clean that, you know, that's just before you get to the dock. That cleans all the carbon out. You got trim tabs, stainless steel prop shaft, drive shafts on both of these. You got 2 coats of clear, 2 coats of primer, special paint. You got zincs, internal zincs on the cylinder, on the block. There's your P tube there. If that stopped. Now this is going to take a little bit to pump water out at the house, where this one will be almost immediately, but this has got the V6, so it takes a little bit for the water to go through the jackets and through the motor, the block. So be patient. Even when you put it in the water down here, it's not going to just instantly pump. So just give it like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and it'll pump out. And it ain't going to be a heavy flow. A lot of people think it should jet out like those kickers. It doesn't. There's your transducer. You won't get any spray from that because it's underneath the swim deck. And again, nice trailer. Love the paint. I love that, like that green. Got the VHF, got the good one. It reads a whole 8 feet. That's really important. Get a good antenna. Don't go cheap. This is a 5225 Imagine XT. Yep, there it is. Chrome ferrule. You can reach probably 15 miles easy, 18 down like that. So they read out pretty good. Spare tire. And then you got your ladder. You got C-Star hydraulic. Steering. Then I got to put this down for a second. And you pick it back up. You got rear entry door. Drain for your box. It's a North River Boats NRB 24 foot, and you got 2023, the last 2 digits. You got your good bedline floor, really nice. Here's your wash down hose. Now if this is off, you want to make sure you put that cap on, and you want to make sure you close that, because if you don't, the water is going to shoot in here even if you don't use the switch. So then you got your live well, and you got your wash down right over here. Right there. Don't take that all the way out, and if you do, be very careful putting them back in. or you'll strip it out. They use fine threads, little bait box. Now if you wanted, they don't come, they used to, but there's a ski pylon that you can get for these. You can cut them down. You can make up on here, attach a bar for hand lines for tuna. Then down into here, that's for these fish box, this fish box right here. If you look, there's a seahawk valve right back there. If you close it, no water's coming in. Say I want water in here, crab and whatsoever, or I could use this one for that too. You open it up, let it fill up how far, then close that valve. You want it out, you open the valve, and you want it out fast, do a slow turn. I think it's to the left. Like get the boat rolling like this, and it'll drain a lot faster. And then you close the valve and you keep the water out. And then this is what I'm saying on the wiring. They do a really good job, especially with that battery switch. They put it up on top of that Lexon, so it ain't touching any part of the boat. You don't want that, or you're gonna have electrolysis problem. And then that, you could actually put it'd be tight, but you could do it. You'd have to move these batteries. You could put it here. It'd be tight. You could probably get another battery in there. And this filter is the 10 micron Yamaha. Stick with Yamaha. Don't go aftermarket. Those got a 5 paper element in them. They most of them only have 2, so that can withstand a lot more water if you did get it in. And then this here's your primer bulbs. I'm just gonna see if they put any, which they've been pretty good about doing. Yeah, I can hear it. There you go. Never been ran. So then I'm gonna pump this up. This is for your kicker. This takes a little longer. Go fast, and once I do that, just check them every time you come in. You don't have to, but